Hello there, Dread Mechanic here again, for another one of my research and development streams. This one is about messing around with signal relays, because they're quite an interesting block, and you can do some strange things, well, not strange, but interesting things with them. And I've had a few people ask me about them, because there doesn't seem to be a lot about signal relays out there in the land of YouTube, other than the basics of this is an action relay, this is what it does, this is a broadcast relay, this is what it does. So yeah, I thought I would mess around with some stuff and show some people the results. So for the basic setup that I've got here, I've got 6 of these towers. Each one has got a reactor to power it, a piston to move it, some exhaust pipes, some lights, and some weapons to demonstrate the things that you can turn on and off and do, and a antenna to connect it all up. And there's 6 of them, they're all set up individually, and I've got a set of 6 buttons here for each one. So that does that, turns all that on, that turns it off, that turns that on, that turns that on, and so on and so forth. So that is each one set up individually. So each of these buttons here is set to set channel and send signal. So the first one sets the signal on the action relay to channel 1 and sends the number 1 signal, which is that. So they're all set up channels 1 through 6. And that's a basic thing you can do with them, is you can just trigger stuff from a distance. Antennas have got pretty good range, so you could effectively stick the antenna range of this at max, stick the antenna range at that on max, and you could have a load of these lining the mountain tops or something off in the distance. And yeah, that's them set up individually. But say we wanted to set up all of these things to trigger at the same time, what we could do is go into the action relay of the first block, and those are all the commands when it receives a signal, turns everything on and off. So what we could do to chain actions together, we could select set signal to number 2, which is going to be the next one in the chain, and call it whatever, doesn't really matter because we won't be seeing that, we'll just call it tower 2, and then that will change the signal on this block to number 2 and send a signal on that channel which will be received by tower 2. But the end result of that would be this tower here would get changed to channel 2. So we'd need a second command to reset this tower back to number 1. And then that should effectively, when I come down here, if I hit number 1, there you go, that triggers both of them together, whereas number 2 is still set to number 2, so it can move on its own. Because of that 2-part command we put into tower 1, it controls both of them. And we could do that and daisy chain the whole thing along and make all of them move with a single command like that. Or we could set up a load more commands in this action relay to just trigger all the towers at once. But that would be an awful lot of setting channel send signal over and over again on different pages, and you would only have as many pages as that. So it'd probably be better to actually daisy chain them together. But another thing we could do, other than just daisy chaining them, we could put in a delay. So if we take those out and say, rather than having all of them lift together simultaneously, if we added a timer block into the mix, pull out Tower 1 delay for now, set that to 3 seconds, and we could have this block do the action relays. So we could have that number 2, set that to Tower 2, and then have that return back to channel 1, rename it back to that. So now we go to the action relay. Stop pressing that button. If we go to the action relay, all we need to do now is add this timer into the mix and choose start. So in theory, now we hit this button, after a 3-second delay, there you go, second one goes up. We select that again, after a 3-second delay, another one goes down. We could, if we in fact change that to 1, that makes it a little bit easier. We will copy that, and we will quickly slap a timer block on the back of all of these towers. Do the same kind of thing. Ooh, we don't need half a dozen. Back, that's a few too many. Right, so then we can call this 2. We can call this one number 3. And this can be Tower, Tower 4. And this one can be Tower 5. And this one can be Tower 6. Right. Now, we just got to set up a few controls. So that one triggers this one. Now, this one wants to send a signal to number 3. We'll call Tower 3. And it wants to return back to normal. So number 2. And then Tower 2. And the action relay. Always press that send signal button instead. Simply wants to start that block. And we move on to the next one. And it's the same simple little process. So we choose that, select number 4, call it Tower 4, select channel, number 3 to return it back to normal, Tower 3, action relay. See, I didn't press the wrong button that time. And then start that. few more times, and then we'll have a nice little delayed relay system sort of thing. So we want to, what are we on? We're on number 4, so we want to set the signal to number 5. Number 5. Then we want to set the channel back to number 4. And then once again we can add that block into the action relays little sequence, because action relays at the end of the day literally work exactly the same as timer blocks. The only difference is that they can be triggered remotely, whereas timers have to be triggered manually. Well, sort of. So, delay, setup actions, we're on number 5, so we want to set up number 6. We'll call that Tower 6. And we'll set that one back to number 5. Call that Tower 5. And add that into the action relay sequence. So that can trigger Tower number 6, and 6 is the end of the chain, so it doesn't need anything. So hopefully, if I've done this all correctly, I can hit that button there, and after 1 second, all of those towers will all pop up, one after the other, and kick into action like so. Press that button, and that will deactivate them all again, and turn it all off. Yeah. And there you go, there's like a simple way of creating like a little defense network, a little relay signal, as each one of these is its own separate grid, and they are all on their own individual channel. You can essentially move them wherever you'd like, and they will still kick in. So you could quite easily, in fact, spread them out a bit further. Maybe put that one there. That one there. That one there. A much more spread out network. There you go, that would be the basis of a, like a manually triggered weapon system. Oh, one thing I did forget to do was put any ammunition in any of these guns, sort of these assault cannons. Let's stick a load of ammunition on the floor.
Inventory full.
I'm sure it is. Okay, let's stick that there. Oh, does that only take 6 rounds? Oh well. This demonstration is going to be a bit short-lived. Let's add some rockets into there then. Rockets, there you are. I didn't realise that they had so little storage space. Oh well. That was the wrong thing. What's that? That's an artillery turret. Pop some of that to there. Only takes 6 rounds each. It's a bit pitiful. Yeah, I didn't realise that. I should have tested that beforehand, but oh well, it is what it is. Right, so stick some rockets in there. Oh, this tower's the wrong way round. Let's turn it around. Oop. That didn't want to spawn back in. Oh, there we go. And what's this one? This is an assault. Okay. So, now we've got some ammunition, which I should have thought about earlier. We can hook in a good old Jameson bot, stick him in the middle. And we can make him an evil space pirate. So then, when we activate our system, all the turrets will kick in one by one, as they all detect stuff, and it'll get blown to smithereens. And then we can disable the whole system quite easily. Poor little Jameson bot has been absolutely creamed. Thrown all the way over there. Yeah, that's immediately run out of ammunition, hasn't it? Yeah, of course it has. So yeah, that is how you can do it manually, and just have it on a button, trigger the whole thing, turn it all on, turn it all off again. However, if you would like it to be automated, ooh, that's not. Turn it. Yeah, there we go. Interesting things are going on there. There we go. Ah, I pressed the wrong button, that'd be why. Oh, poor Jameson bot. Come back here, my friend. Let's keep you out of the picture for a minute. So that is a way that you could have a relay controlled defense system on a button with a delay in it. Now, what I was saying before everything got a bit crazy was if you wanted to have that to be automatically triggered and controlled, you can set up an AI defensive block. And with our AI defensive block, we can have it with basically just its default settings. You could even have it set to have 2 target characters as well, but pretty much the only thing that we need to do, turn the AI behaviour on, and in the setup actions button, we need it to send an action relay signal to trigger that first tower. So what we can do is set that to send channel and set channel 1 and send signal. In fact, it would only need to be, oh no, it would need to be that and have 2 different commands, because these blocks, like sensors, notoriously don't like you having 2 of the same command in the 2 opposite pages. So without having to add another block, we could set that to send signal 1, call it tower 1, and that can just be set up to send signal, because that should return everything to tower 1. So now we've got our AI defensive block searching for enemies, keeping an eye out for them, and if one were to appear, the AI block will detect it and it will trigger the defense network, and then everything kicks in. And if there's any ammunition left in those things, yep, there you go, they'll start blasting the crap out of it. And away he goes. And if we delete him, or he gets destroyed, the AI block no longer detects a bad guy, it now deactivates the entire system. And it all goes back to how it was. And if another bad guy appears, the AI block once again kicks in, detects a bad guy, activates everything, and then it's a case of waiting for the guns to do their thing. Which, if they've all run out of ammunition, which I'm sure they have now, they're probably not going to do anything. They just sit on idle when they have no ammo. Yeah, they do, don't they? Well, there you go. As soon as it's got some ammunition in it, it'll start firing away and destroying its enemies. And when the enemy is no longer detected, it all deactivates again. And yeah, it's pretty much as simple as that. Each tower literally is self-powered. It can be a battery, it can be a reactor, whatever you like. And it just needs to have its own signal relay and its own dedicated channel, which can be whatever you like. And obviously it needs to be able to receive signals from either you or your faction. And then you just have your commands to turn on and off the things that you like. In this case, extending the piston, activating the lights, activating the guns, and turning on the exhausts for the dramatic flame effect. And then the next command is it will start the delay timer for the next tower, and that is a simple case of select channel and send signal, choose the channel for the next tower in the sequence, and then you choose set channel once again to return this tower back to its original signal, and then you just repeat the process for each one. And it's as simple as that. And you can have a simple manual control for them. And because of the way these consoles are set up, they're attached to each button. If you, for instance, only wanted a certain amount of them to appear, just tap button 4 and it'll only activate that. It'll only activate the sequence from that point on. That'll return it back to where it was. And I could do the same from 2. And once again, drop a bad guy in the mix. AI block will pick it up, activates all the towers, they all do their thing. And as long as this block detects an enemy, which is still detecting, it will keep those things active, and the second it doesn't detect anything anymore, enemy destroyed, enemy out of range, it will reset the whole system. And that's about it really. This is a bit of a short one because it's actually a lot simpler to play with action relays than some people think. Like I said, they are literally just a timer block. Like a timer block had a baby with an antenna. That is pretty much it. And yeah, like a timer block, they have 10 pages of 9 slots of actions you can stick into them to do whatever you like. And so, before we knock off, we'll just throw it into the darkness again. Put our little Jameson bot into the mix. And then everything kicks in. There you go. That's it. Signal relays. They're actually dead easy. And you can get them to trigger pretty much anything that a timer block can trigger in the same way. And they can all be relayed together. Because that is 7 individual grids. There's the base there, and each tower is a separate grid. Not physically connected in any other way. And yeah. See you later, Jameson. And sail, there we go. Just because it's fun to watch it work. Cool, right. I'm going to leave that there. That's about as much as I can do with that. So, if you've enjoyed that, please let us know. If you've got any comments or ideas or any questions, just leave a comment. And I will see you all next time. So, goodbye for now.